complacency. If you take the issue of complacency, for instance, I can really motivate it. That they're saying, I am completely comfortable, yeah, sure. You know, but if that's your style, your way of life, then you can maybe kid yourself into believing that you're completely not attached to anything. But everything shows that you're completely disappointed, frustrated, and don't know a way out of the life that you find yourself in.
So for me, I see complacency.
Who says the things the way they are, regarding to how you thought they were only personally to you. So that there's something universal that can be said about things that you think are personal. Which they aren't. They aren't personal. They are very, very universal. Everybody who behaves that way and ignores what's actually happening feels the way you feel. So don't kid yourself, you know, there's nothing unique about you. You're that same idiot. And if it wasn't so sad, it would be funny. That through the ages, people have taught themselves and told themselves that they are different from other people. Where the settings may be different and some of the connotations that they have, but in the overall emotional, mental actuality they find themselves in, they're all the same. And it's good that it is like that, because otherwise the whole idea of communication between human beings would be a hoax, could be impossible. We're all referring to that same reality in the way that we experience it. We're all humans in the way that our senses and our thoughts give meaning to situations. And there's this range of mental states in there that we all come from. So complacency is death incarnated. It's not life. It's an avoidance of what life really is. It's an avoidance of all the insecurities, the risks that are involved, all that kind of stuff. And people can choose to be complacent or can choose not to pick up the challenge that's in there. But the only way that can be done responsibly is by doing it in a way that you do not hurt other people in the process. And that's pretty impossible as long as you're dealing with other people.
What do you mean? The last sentence, what did you...
You cannot not hurt other people with your own complacency if you're dealing with them. The only way you cannot hurt or influence other people negatively is by non-existing. But you already exist in the heads and in the minds of people that know you're alive. So there's no responsible way out. Complacency is a responsibility.
When you say complacency, what do you? I can associate with a lot of things.
Complacency means that you say, oh, it's not that bad, or it's not that important, or just doing away with the reality of something by simply ignoring part of it or the whole thing. Doesn't really matter. There's these old people, and if you come to know them, then you feel like you want to meet them more and more. They're old, but they're alive. There's something in their eyes, you know. And there's old people that are complacent. They're not alive anymore. When you see the two together, it's like you see like a young kid and a retarded old creature.
My father, in that sense.
Yeah. Well, your father was a kid in a lot of
in some ways, and it's funny because complacency isn't necessarily seen as complacency by the individual.
No. They see it as realism, as being in line with reality or something. But the whole thing is that you can decide what is in line with reality. Being in line with reality is an experience. It's not a thought. It's not a conclusion. It's a discovery. It's a joyride.
Yeah.
Which is not always very joyful though, but still it's reality is always more than what you think it is. If you think you know reality, that's complacency. It's arrogance. Yeah.
How do you address that? It's interesting because, you know, we would create the video now, and I think to myself, if I look to someone I see like 5 people in my head that in my life that have been a bit older in nature. I've always felt them to be, I respected them because they succeeded in a lot of ways, but by the same token I always noticed that there was always sort of a lifelessness about them.
Yeah.
And how would you reach someone like that?
Well, the funny thing is that the way you speak always already contains the conflict that you're in.
Yeah.
Because you speak about them as having achieved something, and them as being complacent, where the actuality is that there have been achievements, and those are the things you respect, not the people that are achieving. It's achievement that's being respected. So how do you address people like that? No, what you have to say, or what you have to look at, or could be looking at, is what is it that I respect, what is it that isn't, that I don't, and how do I address that? Then it doesn't really matter who they are. It's the whole picture of what you see and the inconsistencies in there, and then you bring that forward, and that's how you contact them, with whatever they are. They are only the name or the image that you give to the how do you call that, the
persona? Or?
No, not persona. I'm looking for the manifestation that they represent. They're a manifestation of a mind in a certain state, with a certain past and a certain potential, and that manifestation we call them, or you call yourself, or whatever. But it's the manifestation. That's the real thing, and that's always dynamic and complex and never really the same. Although, if you look at the surface, it looks the same. But every step they take, every breath they take, changes them irreversibly. It's like they say, I don't know the exact data, but every so many years, all the cells in your body have been replaced. No molecule is the same. How can we say that somebody exists?
You brought a pretty big concept in now.
Yeah, sure. But I'm just showing to you that in order to solve the issue that you were raising, you would have to at least consider that maybe the concepts that you're using are causing you to have the problem in the first place. And for normal situations, you don't even need to go this deep. But within the context that you are thinking, you cannot solve the issues that you're addressing, then possibly you need to reconsider the concepts and the context. Maybe the limitation is in your thinking.